Hello students, this is Mr. Dowd again, and I want to do this quick video and show you how to do the digital part of the map in this assignment. So we have a new assignment, the Regions Map assignment, and when you open it up, well, the actual assignment looks like this. There is a checklist of things that have to be on your map, and all of this has to do with our recent work on reading and summarizing regions. Here is the checklist for how you score, and here on the back side of the paper is the map and a spot for your key. Now you have the opportunity to do this on paper, which is 100% fine. This video is really for those of you that want to do the map part digitally. So, the Regions Map assignment, we're going to close that for now. And if you want to do this digitally, you're going to have to do a couple of things first. First off, you're going to have to take this file, regionsmap.png. .png means it's a type of digital image, like a JPG or a GIF file. This one is just a little bit more high resolution than, for instance, a JPEG or a .jpg. So now we're going to click on this, and this is something that took me a minute to figure out. When my window opens, normally I'd go right up here next to the print icon, and there would be a little download symbol, but when I clicked, it wasn't there. So if this is the case on yours, select Open in New Window, and if you look at the taskbar, it's going to add an actual new, not the taskbar, your tabs, it's going to add a new tab that has the image symbol, and that's where it will let you download. And you will notice way down in the lower left here, I have this file downloading. And it says the file name, regionsmap.png, and the little blue circle around here, once that goes away, your file is completely downloaded. Okay, I paused for a few minutes because it was taking forever and I downloaded this a few times. Anyway, look down here, you see the regionsmap.png, and if you click it, it will open the image, but that's not what you want. You want to click the little up arrow and choose Show in Folder. And what you want to do there is take your window and move it to one side, and you can see Regions Map, the file name, is highlighted in your window. Sometimes it'll be down at the bottom. I've also seen in windows where it's up at the top of your view. If nothing, when you're in the Downloads folder of your computer, the file name is Regions Map. You can search for it alphabetically. You need to do something here. Open another window, File, Open New Window, and move this one over to the side. And for this, I want you to click on this PC, and I want you to go to your personal folder, which is your H drive. And then when you open up your personal folder, you're going, now you can see I have a ton of stuff here, but you can then move the file, Regions Map, from the Downloads folder to your personal folder. That's the way it's going to be easy to find. And in my case, I don't want to put it in one of those folders that's already in there, so I'm going to put mine back for just a second. I'm going to scroll down to where I have loose file space, and then I'm going to click and add the file to my H drive. Now I know where that file is. It's in my H drive, and I can close these windows out. I'm going to go back to the Google Classroom, and I'm going to show you what to do next, and that is to get your image into Sketchpad. Sketchpad is free drawing software that's available online, and it has actually an assortment of reasonably powerful drawing tools that are available to you anywhere that you have an internet connection. And what I want to do is I want to get that map image into Sketchpad so I can then use the drawing tools to do all the things that are in my checklist. So you've got your art tools up here in Sketchpad, and then down here on the left are different options. If you can export your image, you can go to the Sketchpad settings, you can start a new file, and here you can see the little red balloon. It says open. I'm going to click that folder, and it is going to say open, and I'm not even sure what this stuff is, but I'm going to click the button down in the lower left that says import. And that's going to open up a familiar Windows window, and I know that that is now in my H drive, so I'm going to go to this PC. I'm going to go to my personal folder, which is my H drive, and it was called regionsmap.png, and I'm just going to scroll down to the R's because mine is listed in alphabetical order, and here it is under the R's, regions map. Double click it, and it opens up in Sketchpad. So I've got my image open, and I am going to now go to the tools in Sketchpad, and you can see that the tools are up here for drawing. I've got a path tool, I've got a star tool. If you look at that, it's just going to lets you fill star shapes, and it lets you choose the colors and how the sides look. There's a text tool where you can drop in a text box and type. There's clip art, and if you look into the clip art, you can see all the different things. Now your map does require you to make some symbols, so maybe you've got forests that you want to show, or maybe you've got farming or different kinds of weather symbols. You might be able to find stuff in here that will work. And then there was an option to load your own image. You can bring in pictures, but you'll have to download those pictures to bring them in. And we've already talked about Google Images and using images that you have permission to use and how to search for those. And then here's your vector fill tool. We'll talk about vectors in a second. I'm going to go back to this thing that says path, because you might not know what that is. But down here in the menu where it says path, here's where I find all of my drawing tools or my stamp. I've got a stamp here. I've got spray paint. I've got paintbrush, pen, pencil, calligraphy, different kinds of lines. And if I do take a pencil and I try and do an outline, let's say I want to do the Deep South region, I could color it with my pencil. But I'm doing kind of a sloppy job there, and if I make a mistake once, then I've got to undo it and do it again. And then if I want to fill my pencil, well, normally in a drawing program we'd go to the paint can and we'd click, but look what it did. It just turned my whole thing gray. And remember, that's because it is a vector fill. So I'm going to do Control Z and get rid of that. Control Z again, get rid of that. And I want to show you what is meant by the vector fill. So let's say that we are the coastal range region we want to show on our map, and that is, that coast of Washington, Oregon, and California. And I am going to go down to my drawing tool here again. It's the pencil, and from the menu, I'm going to select path. Now, when we are creating a vector drawing or creating vector graphics, the path is going to show us what we are defining on our image to be filled or to be manipulated in other ways. And so it starts with this square dot, and then you notice how there's a blue line attached. I am going to draw connected dots that are going to outline the region that I want to color in for my map. And so I'm going to go right to about here. And I'm just going to kind of follow where the Cascade Mountains would go down through and then down in by the Sierra Nevada mountains in California. And then I'm going to go to the coast. Now, I'm on the edge of the map, but I'm not done. In my vector graphics, I want to go all the way around. And so I'm just going to connect the dots. And notice when I get back to that first dot, it turns blue. I click, and it's closed the path. That blue line is not following me anymore. And then look at it filled in the color I had set in the vector fill. And if you'll notice, I've got my little ink drop here and it's set at 50%. And I can click inside that ink drop and drag up or down to make it more opaque or less. And I like it at about 50% because then I can see like the Puget Sound and different rivers. I can see landforms and coastlines behind my vector. So I'm not obscuring the map, I am just coloring it to show. And then I want to add this color to my key as well so that I know what to do, or I know how to. So I'm going to go up to my tools here where we had the star, and I'm going to choose a square. I'm just going to drop a square in there. And then where it says fill, I am going to click it, and I'm going to choose the yellow color I had for my vector graphics. Oh, I don't think that's it. And then I am going to go to my ink drop, and I'm going to bring it down to around 50% where I had it, where I can see through it. And then, if I want, I can leave my outline black. And by the way, this is true with the vector graphics also. You can change the outline to match the fill if you want. I'm just going to go ahead and oops. Put a square in. And then if I don't like where it is, I can just grab the selection tool and I can click and make sure it's just grabbing that. And then I can drag it with the mouse, or I can use the arrow keys if I just want to move it more exactly to where I want it. And once I like it, click off of it, see how it looks. If that looks good to me, then I can go to text and I can click how I want it aligned. I can adjust things like line height and letter spacing and all of that. And then if you can change the font up here and it will give you what they have loaded in here. And again, it's kind of the same rule. Just give me something that's easy for an old man with glasses to read. So otherwise, it's your choice. And I will click on here. Oops. I've got my text tool. I will click, and you'll see it comes up. And it comes up pretty large, larger than can fit in your key, but don't worry. And I'm just going to say coastal range, and it resizes. And then I can also click here, and I can resize it as small as I need. So there we go, and then grab the selection tool again, click it, and move it where I want it. Oops. And also I can use those arrow keys if I want to fine-tune my adjustment. Click off of it, see how it looks. If I like it, I move on to the next thing. And like I said, you can also click I somehow selected the whole thing. Click on here, and let's say that my outline, I don't like that black outline. I can always, oh, you know what? I can just go ahead and make the outline the same color as the fill, and I can also set that at around 50%. Oh my goodness, this has gone on for almost 14 minutes. Folks, this is your basics on how to use the tools in Sketchpad. If you need more help, please raise your hand in class. And if you're doing this at home or somewhere else, just play with the tools. It's a great way to get used to it. Sketchpad is a powerful tool that includes vector graphics. I give it a moderate recommendation. If we want to really get into vector graphics, I will show you free downloaded software called Inkscape. I'm done talking. Good luck. Go get that map, and I look forward to seeing you in class next time.